Welcome back to War Thunder Weekly News. This week, there wasn't a whole lot revealed, but there's a whole lot fixed, changed, patched, secretly, and overtly. First one, the T95 cupola isn't much of a weak spot anymore, as far as this guy on Reddit and I have tested. Instead of having all the shrapnel go down to the vehicle, shells now tend to overpin the thing. In my personal tests, I have found that we'll mostly end up harming the loader, harming the driver, harming the gun, or killing the commander. Let's kind of see what would happen when I shot at the thing. A hash still will kill you instantly, but don't expect it to one-shot the tank anymore. I tried this with a few different guns. The M3A1, the 88 on the Tiger 1 and Tiger 2, and the hash on that little Japanese go-kart, and heat as well. Some people were claiming that this change was done some time ago, back in 1.57, which may be true, but now that it has been sort of looked at, I wonder if this is going to change people's view on the tank. And if this really is a change and not just confirmation bias, it's possible this thing will be a really good tank. If you think about it, the front is a whole lot of armor that not a lot can get through, especially when down tiered. When up tiered, it has a bit more to worry about, but at distance, it's going to be really good. Other fixes, one that people have been kind of nagging at Gaijin for a long time, the gunners on the M410 have been fixed. Honestly, I never really knew that they were broken. I only used the vehicle for ground attacks and RB tanks, and typically you get shot down by either your own stupidity or spas, or you just never stood a chance. Mike 10D has been busy digging away at every bit of data that comes our way, and he has dug up a whole lot of very interesting unofficial patch notes. I won't go through all of them because while they are interesting, they're very minute, and I can't really make too many thoughts on them. But it's very beneficial for you to go through and read them, just in case it affects one of the vehicles that you like playing. Although there is one thing that I will mention of his 1.69 unofficial patch notes, is apparently they have been working with making it so there's certain areas of the battlefield that a certain team can't enter, like perhaps a spawn zone. It's currently being tested on a CTF Poland game mode. I'm assuming that means capture the flag. This may be an upcoming event where they'll test it live, though I don't think a silly game mode should be used to test a possibly beneficial alteration. I think it should just be a regular match. Maybe put a prize in it, see what happens. Large caliber cannons have been changed. Well, 3. The MK108, MK103, and NS37. I'm not going to go into ridiculous detail exactly on how they were changed. They're better, generally. If you want the details, they will be in the description as usual. There has been a host of different things in the changelogs. I'm not going to read over every single one, but I'll give you a few ideas. 250 kilogram bombs on the H8Ks have been essentially nerfed, or well, replaced with naval modifications of the bomb, which you would assume to be armor-piercing bombs instead of regular explosive bombs, having a much smaller blast radius. And a whole host of new vehicles have been added to arcade air support, or whatever you call it. Some including vehicles that don't rely on rockets or bombs, but cannons. The JPZ-4-5 has received HEP, or Hesh round, which it was supposed to have quite some time ago, but hey, better than never. And the 29K has lost its artillery module because it is artillery. Gaijin released some plans to alter the requirements to unlock camouflages for vehicles, and generally increased. It goes for both planes and tanks. I don't entirely understand the reasons why, especially for air forces. They're not exactly useful. In ground forces, it's annoying that they increase the requirements generally for getting winter camouflages, which is necessary. In terms of Italian aircraft, for those who are not in the closed beta, now have access to 8 more vehicles, although they're basically the ones that were in the German tree, so it's not like anything new. But hey, more pasta. There was another Q&A session, and a lot of it was donated to answering rather petty questions about the Italian tech tree, but there was a few that I fished out that I did like. First one asked, will Italy have a navy? The answer is that they're not going to rule it out, and that they'd like to see every nation with every type of vehicle eventually. There's another one asking about the SM-79 Series 4 and SM-79 Bis N, and if they're going to be added to the Italian tech tree, because these are the two that were removed from the German tree for there being too many, and the Italian tree being so new could use some extra planes. Their reply was that those models need some work, and they might add them later. I don't see why not. More planes to research. And it's not like Italy has too many bombers. I honestly don't entirely see why they were taken out from the German tree as well. Another question asked about the Soviets' engine exhaust smoke system, if it's going to be in game. They answered that it's a bit different than regular smoke canisters, but they're working on making it work. So yeah, and the last question of the Q&A was a real juicy one. They asked if helicopters are going to appear in game, and the answer was more of a not likely, but maybe. But I thought it was interesting that they didn't directly say no, we're not going to see helicopters, which implies, hey, we might see helicopters in the future. Well, wouldn't it be too bad? They would typically be higher tier stuff because of their armament. A lot of them had guided anti-tank missiles. There were a few that actually appeared in the Second World War and only would drop bombs. The question is, would they be put in the ground forces tree or the air forces tree, or will they have their own special helicopter tree? The rest of the questions I didn't find too much interest in. I would still suggest that you go over and read them, and because you may find interest in the ones I did not. There were two new icons found somewhere in the game files of a sea mine and a depth charge. One would assume that these are going to appear for naval forces. Naval mines have been kind of hinted at, talked about, I think confirmed, but I don't remember exactly. But it's basically confirmed now. I wonder how they're gonna work. That's just about everything this week. There may have been some stories I've missed. If I did so, hit me up in the comments. I will get back to you. If you just want to talk about some of the things I did bring up, I will also get back to you on those. If you've enjoyed this video, I make these videos every weekend, typically on Saturday, Sunday morning. If you want to see more, subscribe. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed the video. And if you did not enjoy the video, hit the dislike button. Thank you for watching and have a good day.